Hi everyone, Lisa Resnick, Homes and Hops, decided to venture back out of my podcast studio and go back to videos. So I am actually in Akron, downtown Akron, at R Shea Brewing with Ron, the brewer himself. There's a lot of science behind brewing, and Ron is actually a chemist right here. And you brew your beer a little differently than a lot of the other brewers do, right?
So pretty much the process of brewing starts out the same. You combine water with grain, certain temperatures, but when it's all done and you gotta have all the sugars, worts, you put it in the fermenter. We let it, most brewers, they just let it bleed off the CO2 atmospherically. Then at the very end, they'll carbonate it. We take it up to pressure immediately. And the chemistry behind that is we could run it at a hotter temperature, like 80 degrees instead of 70, shorten the time, and we don't get the off flavors that you would get if you just had one bubbling away going to 80 degrees. So we shave some time off, and it's already carbonated at the end fully.
I'm drinking the orange mango citrus, which falls under my ABV rule of under 5% at 4%. And it is absolutely delicious.
Yeah, that's a top seller. We've actually, this is the first week it has come back. Usually this juice, orange mango, it runs out in the summertime all over the US.
Oh, wow.
We can't get it, but we just found a different source, and so it's back on. That is a crowd favorite.
Speaking of all over the US, you guys have just ramped up distribution, right? So this is part of the whole location and the build out of your Canal location, right?
Correct.
So when did you decide to dive into expanding your distribution, and what made you say, you know what, 56,000 square feet, that's not that big.
Let's go
Why
from
not?
2,000 to 50.
Yeah.
What made that decision? When we opened here 5 years ago, we started with 3 tanks, these 3.
Yep.
And within the first year, we added another one.
Okay.
And by the end of the second year, we have 6 of them now, one of them being a double size.
Okay.
And even with that, all of that beer just went to the tap room. We had no beer left to sell to restaurants or bars. And that's where the Canal Place location, in about year 3, we started looking at spots for initially just distribution, not necessarily a giant restaurant also.
When you went in there and you saw this building, because it's an industrial building, how did you envision your brewery there? Because you have the production below, and then you have your restaurant above.
So when we were shown the building, and I wasn't even looking at this building, our realtor just said, hey, why don't you come look at this? So he took
Always
us.
good to have a good agent.
Yeah. So he took us to the bottom part of the floor, which if you've been there, there's a restaurant topside with a mezzanine that overlooks the bottom. When I was shown that, there was a wall that separated both the lower and the upper side. So we looked at the lower side, I'm like, this could be a cool brewery,
Yeah.
but how would we get a restaurant going here? So then they took us to the other side, and I'm like, if we took this wall down, this will overlook the brewery, right?
That's super cool. And then this spot, how'd you choose this location?
This location, probably 6 years ago, 6.5 years ago, I actually grew up a couple minutes away up the street. So I knew the area, I knew the traffic patterns. This is a great location. You got the parks, everybody's going from Fairlawn through here, like Iowa Falls or Akron.
And you guys have your 5-year anniversary coming up for this location. And then soon after, your 1-year anniversary coming up at the Canal location.
Yes.
And then you have Oktoberfest, everything happening right now. So this is your
October's
month.
busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with all the travel restrictions that we're all facing now, I think it's an opportunity for us all to take an opportunity to explore our own areas. So definitely come on by. Check out the one at the Valley, R Shea Brewing Company, as well as the one in Canal.
Definitely.
All right.
Totally different beers, totally different food.
There you go.